Hi, it's Brad Monk here. Yet again, we've had loads of messages. It seems that all of you are struggling to connect to the spirit world. And so I'm going to give you 5 ways that you can bypass your emotions and blocks to be able to communicate with spirit. And the best way is number 5. So look out for that. So why is it that people are struggling? Well, with all the negativity in the world and our emotions being triggered and our senses closing and our chakras being blocked, it seems a lot of people are just not being able to connect. That's why I do loads of one-to-ones over Skype and the phone and one thing and another, because what I do is I clear the blocks out, put you a little visualization to cleanse your whole body and get you connected, and then what I do is I get a message from spirit, not through myself but through you. Yes, you're listening, through you. So I get you to communicate, and then with the simple technique that spirit showed me, I have been able to get people connected within 10 minutes. Yes, the training is needed to make it automatic, but they showed me a way to bypass, and here's another 5 ways that you can bypass that which is stopping you from communicating with spirit. So if you want to book a one-to-one, just you can find me on Fiverr, or basically you can just email bradmonk@hotmail.com and I'll help you with that. And it's brilliant because I get you to get a message from spirit world, and we even at times get loved ones through that pass on a message, and then I can create a symbol with yourself so that you know when they're around. Okay, let's get on to today's events then. So the 5 ways to communicate with the spirit world. Okay, number 1 is creating your place. Now, this is in most of my packs and one thing and another, but I didn't realise the extent. When I was actually first awakened, I went through a tunnel and I found this wonderful place. And this place has grown over time, but it is my place that when I first started out, I used to visit. And if I felt good and happy place, and I used to put things that I loved in it. And also I had the 3 wise men there to pour wisdom and knowledge into my head on a lotus in the middle of like a pond or like a little lake sort of thing that I used to sit on. If the waters was a bit choppy, I knew that I was too emotional to be there and I needed a cleanse. And so creating your place is brilliant because it makes it easier for the spirit world to come there and speak to you. I mean, my favourite place to speak to people was on top of the cliffs, which is the Brad Monk logo that I took, and sitting on the cliff with the sun shining on the sea, and I get people, and I put a little settee there, and I get people to come and sit and communicate. And it's very good for loved ones as well, because to try and communicate with you on the earthly plane, sometimes if your body might reject the connection because it might cause pain to you. And so that's why now, especially, every single person seems to be full of this being triggered, and there's so much negativity, it's unbelievable. Anyway, let's get back to it. So I'm going to put in the description a creating place video that I've created. That's for number 1. So basically, the easiest way to create a place is to just imagine your favorite place. That will be your energy source. So mine's waterfalls, but on this occasion it's very strange. Even though water's involved, I have a tree, I have dolphins, I have all sorts of things there. And then I always feel good when I go there. And I think that's the key to it all for you, because your energy is so important. And then if you're getting the energy from the water like I have, so if you've got the sun, the woods, you could be on top of a cliff. Anyway, it could be a physical place that you've been to. Just imagine it and build on it, and spirit world will help you to build that connection from that place. So that's 1. Number 2 is, in my meditation, there is a nature box. Now, this is another good way. When I have clients and I used to do readings or healings or whatever, I used to put a big transparent box around both of us and fill it full of the sun, the moon, the tree energy, fire energy, wind energy, sea storm energy. And that would cleanse us as we're doing the healing or the reading. And also would create heaven's energy. So it would be like, nature is the most beautiful place, and grounding in nature and the source of nature is brilliant for healing, but also brilliant for your connection. So creating a nature box for yourself, and once you've done it, which you do automatically when you do my meditation, you can then go back to and start building that place up more and more as you do it. And just be wary that you can't really take emotions into that box, so you have to clear them out before you do it. And so it's another way of connecting. Number 3 is heart to heart. This is a little bit harder for people, but it is another way to communicate with spirit. Most mediums should be working from the heart anyway, because that's the best form, and it does also stop a lot of negativity being absorbed. So working from the heart, it also, because it's closer to your inner self, it makes it that negative emotions and everything are harder to penetrate the heart chakra. So that's why I always say work from heart. But there is 2 lines. There's an emotional line, which I cut daily, just to the respect that gives. When I'm overloaded with too much negativity, I cut that emotional ties to now and to the past, and sometimes to the future. But there is an unconditional line, and this is very good when when someone's gone over. You can feel and sense people through your unconditional line, but you can actually trace and imagine yourself going down this line to a person to speak to, and that's another way of communicating with spirit that people don't know about. But you have to get your vessel pretty cleansed to be able to do that, or it will trigger your own insecurities and fears within you. So, I mean, the simplest way is just imagine heaven's energy, ground yourself, imagine the energy from there mixing together, cleansing yourself, cleansing your aura, put waterfall around you, open your chakras, open your senses, quick way, and cutting the ties, and that will just give you, for that brief time before you start absorbing any more or connecting back to people, it frees you up to be able to do that. Okay, number 4. Number 4 is the soul connection. This is another one. Even in my place, I find the soul doesn't talk so much, but I can get through more information through automatic writing and everything like that. But the soul connection is another way that you can connect to the heavens. I believe the soul is in heaven already. And so if you link, as long as you cleanse your body and everything, if you link the line to your soul, and your soul can then get the information. Some people say it's like, guys, it could be, if you do it that way. But I got a direct link to heaven. It takes a lot of energy though. But that's because I have a brother in spirit, so it makes it, I just connect to him and get the information. So, you know, that's another way. So working through that, it bypasses all your emotions, it bypasses your human form. So connecting through that way is another way. Okay, and last but not least, this is the ultimate connection. This takes a bit of work, but when you can do it, and when you free yourself up from your human experience and your human energies, then I tell you something, this is probably my main way now that I do mediumship, besides the direct route as well, is that inside all of us as an energy that's attached to everything. It's connected to everything. Okay, it's right next to the heart. I call it the source, and or your inner voice, or whichever you want to. That's where I get the wisdom from. Do that same cleansing I just said, but then connect through that area to everything else. So you're connecting more of a pure energy to everything, rather than connecting through your emotional energy. You're connecting through the pure energy. It is actually a neutral energy. So all these people have told you that the best connection in the world is, you know, raising your vibration. No, it's not, because it's a neutral. It has to be a neutral energy, because it's what you feed it. It reflects back, and then it reflects to the world, and the world reflects back to you. That's how it works. But it's a neutral energy. So there is more nothing. There's something, and that's why it's in everything. And when you tap into that, you start to feel the beauty in yourself. You start to see, if you tap into that energy in other people, you'll see the beauty in them and their part to play. And because you're getting connected to what we call the automatic connection. And so you can actually go through that connection and tap into the spirit world's own connection, you know? And so that's even purer and you get more wisdom and guidance and everything in that way, and you get more help from spirit world in that way, rather than the emotional way, which is when you're thinking and, oh, am I getting it, or is this the right message, or should I give that message, or what does that mean? Your brain is kicking in all the time. You know, remember what we said, that you get half a sentence and then you fill the rest with your brain, and then the person's like, well, I don't really get that, you know what I mean, sort of thing. So yeah, so there's 5 ways that you can actually connect and actually will bypass the emotional self and the blocks and one thing and another.